Oiler fans are fired up, not just for the beginning of the season on Wednesday night, but also when it comes to a recent roster move made by the team. All that and more today on Oilers Digest. But before we get into all the news, all the rumors, all the breakdowns, make sure to subscribe here to Oilers Digest, as 86% of you have not yet subscribed to the channel. If there's a time to do so, it is right now before the start of the regular season on Wednesday night against the Winnipeg Jets. Oilers Digest will have each and every game covered for you up until the end of the regular season and into the playoffs. Yes, 82 up, 82 down. Make sure to join us along the ride. But without further ado, au revoir, Raphael Lavoie. Yes, the Edmonton Oilers did lose Raphael Lavoie to waivers to the Vegas Golden Knights earlier today. From Derek Van Diest here, he says, Raphael Lavoie unable to crack the Oilers roster. He's a talented player that just hasn't been able to make the jump from the AHL, claimed by, yes, the Vegas Golden Knights, a newfound rival for the Edmonton Oilers, adding maybe a change of scenery will help. Edmonton loses a young prospect to go with the departure of Philip Broberg in Dylan Holloway this summer, also losing, multiple other prospects like Xavier Bourgault and Jake Chiasson. So the cupboards, they are getting very bare here for the Edmonton Oilers. And also here from TSN's Ryan Rishaug, Lavoie is still somewhat unknown. Top 6 AHL player, bottom 6 NHL player, size, decent skater, and a great shot. Never really put it all together at once as an Oiler, but also he only played about 7 games as an Edmonton Oiler in their bottom 6. So to say he got a fair shake, completely false. The organization uses a useful piece in order to keep the roster numbers down and accrue cap space. They had room to keep him at 12 forwards in Evander Kane right now, because Evander Kane still listed on the active roster. But to lose, a guy like Raphael Lavoie, I think he played pretty well in the preseason. If you say, preseason doesn't really matter all that much, well, then you're kind of discrediting a guy like Noah Phillip, too. He played a tremendous preseason, and Lavoie, he was the only Oiler forward to score more than once in the entire preseason schedule. And he, like I said, fantastic shot. Didn't really get a fair shake at all in the Oilers' top 6 at all. I know in 3 years of preseason, there was a stat saying he only played about 14 combined minutes with Leon Draisaitl and only 5 with Connor McDavid. So the talent around him on his line didn't really give him a fair shake at all. Raphael Lavoie was the second-round pick in Ken Holland's first Edmonton draft back in 2019, 1 round after the previously departed Philip Broberg. The Oilers did and do have space on the roster for one more player, which still baffled me beyond belief. Why would they would try to roll the dice when they waived Raphael Lavoie, presumably in pursuit of opening up a little bit of cap space for accrual purposes. And Lavoie cleared under similar circumstances last year, but didn't this summer after a second 25-goal-plus season in the AHL. And he's been somewhat decent in the AHL with the Bakersfield Condors. And like I said, with the Edmonton Oilers, 7 games played, 2 penalty minutes, -2. But again, it was more so just a bottom 6 minutes eating role for the Oilers, and didn't get that much of an offensive upside at all. And from Lots Ryan here, this is just a stat that kind of blows my mind away here. Lavoie's departure means there are no longer any Ken Holland draft picks that have played NHL games for the Oilers left in the organization. So, folks, it's time to go down memory lane here in the history of Ken Holland's draft picks with the organization. This is missing the 2023 entry draft with Bo Akey, his only first-rounder left in the Oilers organization. But 2022, you have a guy like Reed Schaefer. But to Ken's credit, he did get Matthias Ekholm with Reed Schaefer. But again, a lot of other draft picks here. Samuel Janssen, Yevseyev is kind of wasting away in the KHL. 2021, Xavier Bourgault, he was traded for Roby Yarventi along with Jake Chiasson. Matvei Petrov is still in Bakersfield. Max Wanner, depth piece for the Oilers on the defense. A big part of their defense, but he's got a bigger role in Bakersfield. And again, the second part here, Dylan Holloway, of course, lost to an offer sheet. Carter Savoy, they lost. Tyler Toledo traded in the Ryan McLeod trade that got them Matt Savoy. So it's just a who's who of who used to be in the Oilers organization. Of course, Raphael Lavoie, Philip Broberg, a notable one, Matej Blumel, lost to the Dallas Stars after the Oilers failed to sign him to an NHL contract, which just kind of goes to show how the Oilers view prospects in the organization. You know, if you're not Corey Perry or Matthias Janmark, if you're not an older player, then you can, you know, you're just as good as nothing to, you know, management. Unlike, you know, other teams like the Dallas Stars, who value prospects tremendously well in a cap league, hard cap league, you need your younger players to step up, and the Oilers didn't exactly give their prospects, you know, a launch pad to, you know, prove themselves to the Oilers. But it's another day. The sun will shine. Raphael Lavoie goes to the Vegas Golden Knights. I hope he tears it up in Vegas and sort of, you know, puts egg on the face of Oilers management. Of course, you know, it would be, you know, out of spite, you know, Vegas doing well, but I'm more so an individual fan of Lavoie. Again, hope he tears it up in Vegas. But is this the year? Yes, that is what many in the media are saying regarding the Edmonton Oilers. Of course, you know, a very busy summer for the Oilers. Ever since they lost in Game 7, it's just been go, go, go. And with The Athletic, they are predicting the Oilers to go, go, go far again this year. As you can see, they are projected first in the NHL. Yes, a President's Trophy win for the Edmonton Oilers is what The Athletic is projecting. Of course, 99% to make the playoffs, and they are the highest to win the Stanley Cup, projected to win the Stanley Cup at 19%. You can see the breakdowns within the numbers where they are projected. 72% say is projected for the Oilers to lose in the Pacific Divisional Final, and then 27% lose in the first round. If they face the LA Kings again, there's a good chance that's not happening. But it just kind of gets you excited, you know. Lots of hype regarding the Edmonton Oilers, and for me, it just makes me all the more excited. The team's projected point total lands at 110.2, up from 107.2, and one of the highest totals this model has ever spit out during the preseason. Of course, the Athletics model weighs lots of things regarding every single team in the NHL in projecting their point total. As for winning it all, Edmonton's Stanley Cup chances jump from 15% to 21%, also among the highest. And this Oilers team is scary good on paper. Most juggernaut teams get worse in the summer thanks to the salary cap. The Oilers arguably got better. Let me know down in the comments if that statement is true or not. I mean, lots of you have differing opinions on the Oilers, and I love to see that. You know, when everyone has the same opinion, that's very boring. So let me know down in the comments. It's why their forecast is so high across the board. And just looking at their roster here, you know, just a complete juggernaut of a top six. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Connor McDavid, Zach Hyman, Jeff Skinner, Leon Draisaitl, and Victor Arvidsson, which was changed up a bit recently. I'll get into more of that later. And then the bottom six, of course, they did lose, you know, their speed with guys like Ryan McLeod and Dylan Holloway, but they did make the team deeper throughout the season. Of course, you know, the wild card on the defense is Ty Emberson. Yes, we kind of know what to expect from the rest of the defensive core of the Edmonton Oilers, except Troy Stecher. Still didn't get a whole lot of game time with the Oilers last year, but he did have a pretty impressive preseason. But Ty Emberson, if he stays healthy, can he be the one that finally unlocks Darnell Nurse? We will see that this season. And just to sort of put into perspective, the other teams in the NHL that are projected, and of course the Toronto Maple Leafs, the projection model might not know their history in the Stanley Cup playoffs, but we will yet to see that. And of course, Dallas, Vancouver, in Florida, the usual suspects when it comes to projection totals during the upcoming season. Also, some other housekeeping terms. The Edmonton Oilers are expected to sign Travis Dermott to a contract today. Of course, had a pretty stellar preseason. Again, just a depth piece for the Edmonton Oilers on the back end. And also Rishaug here, Ryan Rishaug. There's a bit of line juggling going on here early in the season when it comes to head coach Kris Knoblauch. Matthias Janmark on the second line with Draisaitl and Arvidsson, and Skinner with Henrique and Brown. An early shuffle here before the season gets going. So let me know down in the comments, what do you think of that? Is that questionable? Is that interesting? See what happens from here. I mean, Janmark, pretty good bottom six guy, but top six, that's where you start to lose me. Again, let me know down in the comments. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and we will see you tomorrow. I'm Matt.